library programs.
Yes.
Address council this evening.
Chris can't do it. Ain't got time. Are we on camera?
We are.
Oh, dear. You're up, Chris.
2 seconds ago.
Yes, I heard it, Courtney.
Chris is up next. My bad.
What did Alan Funk just say? Smile, you're on camera.
Yeah. You kidding me? Is he? So he'll be through. I went home, took a shower, changed his clothes, so I had to get a picture. Okay, huh? Was talking about the newspaper people.
Yeah.
That must be on plate 7.
Yeah. What?
He's not coming?
I'll call the meeting to order on June 11th, 2018. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Thank you all.
I know. One of these days, you will see me.
Roll call for council, please.
Lowell.
Here.
Tom.
Here.
David.
Here.
Rebecca.
Here.
Tammy.
Here.
Becky.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. We have no executive sessions called, so we'll go right into approving the minutes from April 23rd. No. Oh, and a special meeting for April 30th.
One at a time.
Yes, one at a time. Huh?
Yeah. Or May 14th. May 14th.
Oh, we already approved the,
Yeah, that was last month.
okay, because I thought, man, this is June. Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes for May 14th you have in front of you.
You have that motion, sir.
Thank you. Second.
I second.
Thank you. Vote.
Lowell.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Rebecca.
Yes.
Tammy.
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Thank you. That leads us to department reports, but
We got one more. Is there another
No.
special meeting?
no, we didn't have it. That was a work session. Well, but thank you. Normally, Jack Deal would start right now. Do you want him to go?
Yeah.
But everybody knows Chris Crisco, the head of the library, Mount Sterling Library. I guess he wants to talk to us. Where, right there is perfect.
All right. Okay, let's kick off the Summer Reading Club. Reading Rocks.
Hey.
This year. So we're doing a whole bunch of programs, music-oriented or rock-oriented. So we started off today with the Disco Magic Show at the Community Center. And also I should say that the American Legion co-sponsored these programs. So we wanted to thank them for that.
You're welcome.
And the Community Center for hosting a lot of them. The June 13th through August 15th, we have the We Joy Sing pre-literacy programs, and those classes are all full. So they are, this is the first year we're offering them in the summer. This coming Saturday, June 16th, the Darby Creek Archaeological Society is going to be set up outside the library, weather permitting, or inside if not. They're going to be setting up different artifacts found in Madison County from pioneers and from Native Americans. We're going to demonstrate some of the artifacts. So we're going to be doing that from 10 to 1 in the morning.
Okay.
In the afternoon or in the evening at 7 o'clock, the Spoon Man is going to be here. Comedy, music, using spoons, that sort of thing. This gentleman got to the second round of America's Got Talent. So we're hoping for a good turnout for that. It's we're trying some family nights this summer. And then we have a couple craft programs. These lists, Dave passed them out to you, so you'll have copies of them. And then on June 18th is a craft. June 25th is the cooking caravan. That's going to be in the afternoon. That's where the kids get to compete as chefs. So it's a fun event. And then on June 30th, we will be having 3 programs that day during community days. 2 to 4 on the Timmins Rock and Roll Show. 7 to 8 p.m. is our family night Marionette Puppet Show.
Uh-huh.
And then from 9:45 to 11, we're co-sponsoring the movie. And I understand from on the big screen,
Uh-huh.
and I understand from Annie that they have purchased the license for The Lion King for that.
Uh-huh.
Lion King?
Yes. And then on July 16th, we'll be having another craft for the kids in the afternoon.
Okay.
A lot of summer events. And,
That's good.
The other thing that we did is we have a new digital resource called
I
Hoopla,
see that.
which is about 500,000 items that people can download to their whatever your tablets are,
Uh-huh.
their computers. There's movies, there's ebooks, comic books, about every format is available. And the difference between this and our other services, and our other e-reader services or books, you get 5 of these a month because we pay for the downloads. There's no reserves. So if there's something you want, you immediately get to download it. You can come over to the library and we can help you with that with your tablet.
Very good.
We use it with your library card. So since we pay by the download, we're limited to 5 a month right now. And so far it's taken off. So,
Very good.
okay. This is all increase in programming, increase in the e-books. We've increased our hours, so we're going to be working on the building. And so
Well, that's great. And you'll make sure that Jackie or Misty gets all this information to put on our webpage?
Oh, yeah, we can.
That'll be great. And I'm sure you've already...
We need to do like 17 digits.
Well, when you get finished with it, pass it up to her, Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. Oh, she's got.
Yep.
Oh,
She's got a lot
I
of
thought maybe you already did have.
Thank you. Hopefully
You're
I-
welcome. Thank you for coming in.
All right. Thank you.
All right, see
Have a nice evening.
Take
you
care.
too,
Chris.
pal. See you later. Now, that leads us to the Sheriff's Department report.
All right, I do not have the
The air's
main
running.
report for you as of right now, but I do want to talk to you a little bit about the recent car break-ins.
Uh-huh.
It's a little cat and mouse game with a couple from Columbus. They hit down here one night, then they hit Pickaway County down here another night. They hit northern Madison County, the west side of Columbus, and we found a stolen car down here from Columbus when they took one of our residents' vehicles from here. So we're assuming they're from Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to remind everybody to lock your car up, take your valuables out. Mainly what they're after is loose change. So if they look in and see it, they're taking it.
Even if they have to break a window.
Well, they didn't get into any cars that were locked here in Mount Sterling.
Mm.
Hey, Jack, do they think it was gang-related, maybe?
Nah.
No, it wasn't? Okay.
It's drug related.
It's just a crime of opportunity, isn't it?
Yes.
Whichever community they're in, the opportunity's there, they're taking it.
Right. iPads, computers were left in the cars. So they weren't taking anything they were just taking change. And they hit the jackpot on one of them. Because the lady had just rolled up the kid's piggy bank, left the bag in there. And so they got quite a bit of change out of one. The next thing I want to talk to you about, I'll pass these out for you. This is a village ordinance on parking. We've been having a very serious issue with a couple neighbors down on Houston Street. What it is, it's a little cat and mouse game they're playing with us at the sheriff's office. One neighbor will call in and complain because the other neighbor's car's been parked for three or 4 days. So we go down and tag it, they move it this far. They did their job, there's nothing we can do, so we got to start the process over. So this neighbor is getting very upset with the sheriff's office that we're not doing our job. Well, we are doing our job. We just, if they move it, that's all we can ask, because our ordinance here doesn't say specifically how far the car moves. So if he moves it an inch, he's moved it. So what I'm asking council to do, and Mark, Mr. Pitstick, is to look into this ordinance, maybe go like Columbus does. When you move a car, it has to be moved 75 feet or more.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So if you guys agree to that, have Mark write something up, and let's get this done so we can stop the bickering on Houston Street.
I heard recently a community you had to move your car at least 2 spaces, 2 car parking spaces,
Yeah.
which is probably, I don't know how many feet.
Well, it's getting to the point
40.
now where they're parking their cars in front of each other's houses
Yeah,
and leaving.
yeah,
And then we tag them, they move them this far.
yeah.
They back them up this far. They
Yeah.
move them back this far. They won't move them. So we put this in an ordinance where it has to be moved 75 feet or more.
I'm agreeable, we gotta break that up.
I think so
Have an
too, as
ordinance,
soon as.
Definitely, because they're gonna
Yep.
pull that game, we just gotta stop it.
So that's all I have. Any questions?
Yes. We have a lot more parking issues in town that is brought to our attention quite a bit. And we've started changing some parking signs. You may have noticed across the street, we changed the parking signs over there. We're going to add more 2-hour parking signs. We've added, a 15-minute parking sign, did away with the spots there by the post office and made it 15. So we are working on the parking issues. We just don't broadcast it. Because we have to order some signs, and when we get them up, we'll tell you and tell the public that these 2-hour parking signs are exactly what they say, and that's what we mean. There'll be areas in town that are 2-hour parking.
All right.
And we'll make sure that the Sheriff's Department enforces those. We'll buy them a box of chalk.
Here we're going to get into the same problem. How far does that car have to move?
I'm not sure about that. I know,
If you buy us a box of chalk, we chalk the tires, 2 hours later we come back, that tire has moved that far.
well, those
Another
are
2
issues we'll have to take up with him.
Yes. So
There's been a lot of issues with
But,
that Houston
yeah,
Street.
but we are working on we're working on several things as well as parking.
Okay, and we need to draft up an actual ordinance for 2-hour parking. Yeah, we have to have an actual
don't have one?
ordinance for 2-hour parking.
We don't have one? Oh, I thought we had.
We
Yeah,
haven't done
This
that.
one's a maximum 24-hour parking. That's the
Okay.
closest thing we've got.
Okay.
We've had 2-hour parking signs in this town for years,
There's no ordinance.
so we don't
There's no
think there's
ordinance
one a while back, probably not.
clarifying where those are to be.
Do what, Rebecca?
Well, I don't think we have clarifying where those areas are to be.
We don't have that either.
Our-
Okay, we'll have to do that. Okay.
Sorry to put more work on you, Mr. Pitstick, but that's all I have.
That's
easy.
Let's just see if he has a report this time.
No report.
Is that it for the sheriff?
That's it, sir.
All right, any questions for the sheriff? All right, we're moving on to the law director.
No report.
All right. Cha-ching. We're moving right along.
I have a question of Mark. The word continuous, what does it mean?
Well, the thing about, what you're looking at is it's setting for 24 hours continuously in the same spot.
But it doesn't say same spot.
Well, I'm saying that that's what the judge would say.
Well, that's probably right. Now, like you say, we played that game last summer.
But it isn't.
Finally, she moved it right in front of my house.
It isn't going to take that much. It isn't going to take that much to change the ordinance. I mean,
Right.
we're just going to have
Be really
an ordinance
specific.
amending codified ordinance 452.15 and putting 75 feet or more.
Any other?
But, okay, so I have a question. Okay, so could you also put in there how many times you've tagged them? So like, say for instance, they do that. Say we play the cat and mouse again. Okay, I'll move it 75 feet. Could you ever say after you've been tagged for the same sort of offense?
Well, here's the thing. Writing a parking ticket Mount Sterling is gonna cost the resident $120 for a parking ticket. Because we have to write it through municipal court. Now, if Mount Sterling had a parking violations bureau, where the money stays right here in Mount Sterling, $25, $50, whatever, for a parking ticket. If you look in the parking section, most of the parking tickets in Mount Sterling are $10. I'd pay $10 to leave my car set.
That's what I pay to go to
If I'm
Columbus,
fighting with my-
$10 a day.
Yeah.
$10 is nothing. So if I'm paying $50 a shot, that's something. So that's something the village has to think about. Get a parking violations bureau, or we're just gonna tag them for $120 every parking ticket and send them to London.
Let me ask you, Jack, if we were to get a parking violations bureau, would we be manning that? Like, would we be the parking, writing up the ticket, or would that still be you and we got the money?
That's gonna be the sheriff's office enforcing.
You would still write the
Right.
ticket, and the money would just come to the community.
Right, they would pay right here.
Okay. I like that
I think
idea.
that's the route to go then.
But if they don't pay it, then what happens?
Then we send it to London, and then they're gonna pay a lot more.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Utilities clerk, she's ill. She did work her full 8 hours, and she can't talk. And she was getting a fever. I sent her home. So next month we'll have a, oh, you have it, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I guess Courtney's going to do the
didn't wanna-
utility. Go ahead.
Can I
take-
have your mic, because I'm not sure.
You
if my-
can.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so she did want to go ahead and have me just report something to you guys so you get an idea of, how much we received thus far. Because again, back in May was last month's information. So thus far, she is showing for June of 2018, month to date, has collected over $47,800 and received 321 payments. She's also asked me to, again, still have the residents that are not receiving any of their water bills or having problems with receiving those to please contact me or her in the water department. Again, I haven't heard anything, but people may not just be, approaching me about it, but I have not heard any remarks about the water bills that were just passed out a week or so ago. So again, please contact me if you're having and experiencing issues.
Yes, and we need that in the newspaper. Thank you. And that, I know they're sent out because I took them to the post office.
And delivered some of them.
And I hand delivered some. And I put some more to the post office. So I know it doesn't seem like that there should be a problem, but there is. Out of almost 900 bills, every month there's a problem. Somebody's not getting their bill. And we've upgraded the paper and we've made some changes. It's a lot better than it was.
Yes.
God, we still have a little glitch now and then. So by all means, call her or Misty. If you haven't got your water bill by now, call them. And they'll tell you exactly how much it is, and you can pay on the phone or come in or whatever. Anything else on water?
Just that we've been, Billy, I know I have, and Misty has, and Tyler have. We're now going almost house to house and knocking on people's houses, their doors, and getting official readings and actual readings. So instead of the estimates that we kept talking about months prior, we are now collecting some data so that we could confirm that people are getting charged correctly for their water. So I know we talk about this almost every meeting, but we are actually going door to door, as well as the mayor, to ask these residents about their meters and getting those taken care of. So if you see us out and about, that's what we're doing.
And that's not an easy job. When a lady tells you she don't have a water meter. I say, well, you got village water. Yes, I got village water, but I don't have a meter. They just send me a bill every month. No, it's not done that way. You have a meter in your house, I need to see it. No, you're not coming in my house, I don't have a meter in there. So, what am I going to do? I'm not going to do anything. I'm going back and report it to her. Those are just some of the things that you run into. You have to crawl under a house in a crawl space that it'd be hard for a small person to get in, and our water guy's not a small person, and I'm not either. But those are just some of the issues that we're dealing with, and they want, we want to get those meters read. We want to get them documented, because hopefully one of these days we'll get some new meters. We need to know exactly where the meter is in the home, and so we can replace them. Hopefully we can replace them with radio reads, and we won't have all these issues that we're having now. Anything else, kid?
I think that's it.
All righty. Moving right along. Village administrator report, or fiscal officer, clerk of court, whatever.
Okay. I know it's been, quite a few weeks since we've met or had our council meeting, so a lot has gone on, so I'm just going to kind of give you the highlight. Can I have your mic?
Sure. Well, because I don't think this one's on. Okay, so I just wanted to let everybody know, everybody that's a resident here in the village, that we are going to be having the West Jeff Village down here to spray mosquitoes. They are scheduled to come down here on, actually, this Wednesday, the 13th. I will let my finance people know, and of course I'll send a whole email out to all of council. Just like last year, they are going to have us pay a portion of the chemical that they used, just like they had it set up last year. Also, the health inspector came down, and she is also giving us additional traps for the mosquitoes. So if you see her around here, she's dropped off some batteries for the mosquito traps, and she'll be down here testing it regularly, because she's starting to see that mosquitoes are becoming more active now because of the rain that we've gotten and the heat. So that's when they start to fester. So I will let you guys know about the time. I'm also going to put it on the website about what time they're going to come. Obviously, it's probably going to be before dusk when they spray. So I just want to let everybody know that. We also fixed 2 water main breaks that we had. One on Jefferson that you'll probably notice, and one on 56. Those were kind of sort of big projects, and I just wanted to thank the employees as well as the mayor and everybody involved that helped us with those water mains. Those were sort of big jobs there. You guys will also see the detour signs that ODOT's putting up. I started seeing them do that late Friday, the orange detour signs. They are going to be running a project, and they have to detour them on the main highways. So you'll see them all being directed either to US 56 or 62. I put a call into them. I know they're extremely busy with filling the potholes now and things like that in Columbus. So I have a call into them to see exactly where that detour is, so I can report that on the website too. But I'll try and put it on Facebook too, because I know a lot of people communicate through Facebook. So I'll try to put all that information on there. Okay, so of course the potholes are a big issue that we've always talked about, and we continue to talk about. I just received a bid today and one last week, and I'm waiting for one tomorrow. So if you see, and I'm sure you guys have probably seen them around town where we've drawn circles or X'd them out with white or green paint, those are what we're going to be focusing on. Obviously the place behind Sunoco over here, the potholes in front and behind, these are going to be big jobs. So I'm just letting council know that some of the bids that you guys are seeing, it's not going to be cheap. So I know we went around, and that's the problem. I've went around with one contractor already. I'm going to be going around tomorrow with another. If you see that, the tape or the paint that we're using on there, I know we're not going to get all of them. So the ones I've noticed, you'll see that. So we will start evaluating the entire town like we have, and the ones that they probably haven't marked off, we'll definitely get those taken care of too. But again, it's not a cold patch or anything like that. This is actually not band-aiding it. It's taking care of the problem for a long longevity. So it's not going to be something, it's going to, sink down in.
Because we're on the slate to get new highway through town next year, right?
Yes.
That's why we're fixing them good.
Yeah, so that's what Billy, last meeting, I know it's been a while since we met, but when I reported that ODOT came in here and spoke to Billy and I, They're going to be doing a project back in 2019. So spring of 19, they are repaving all of 207 and all of 62. Okay, so they're coming through town and repaving this. So that's why it's important for us to not to Band-Aid it, us to take care of it, because once they come in here, they can, you know, they're going to be fixing some of the, you know, some of the sewer drains that you guys see on the highways. They're going to be fixing those. So we don't want them to come in here and us have to redo it again. So we're working closely with them to make sure that what we are paving is what they're not going to be repaving over or destroying. So that's another thing that we wanted to evaluate too. But I will provide council with those bids once I receive them, and then all of council will have the information to determine which contractor to go with. But we want to make sure we're doing it right. Okay, so I think that's it. Did you want to?
I don't have the booklet.
Yeah,
You
that's
can,
okay.
you can inform that we met.
Okay.
That we're going to have meetings in the future. And
Yeah.
with us and the different counties.
Okay, so we had a work session last Monday, and with doing all the engineering things that we have to do, because obviously this is going to be an engineering thing. Water meters is going to be an engineering thing. We have to develop a capital improvement plan, kind of like, you know, what every municipality has, is what is your future? You know, what in the next 5 years, or the next 10 years, the next 20 years, what is your vision of weaknesses that you have within your village? Okay, so we are wanting to kind of invite or accept resumes to, you know, introduce all of this, how we can pay for water meters and gain grants. I mean, we've talked all about this. How to, you know, develop projects like this in the future. What would we like to see? And I know I've asked you council members several times of, you know, what is your weakness? You know, as far as what do we want to see? What do the residents want to see? So we are going to be looking into that very closely. We met with one engineering firm that we also talked about in our work session about possibly getting them to come in here and saying, hey, this is what I think that you guys are looking for. So again, this is going to be up to council members and the council that's going to make that determination. We're just going to bring them to you. So there's going to be a lot of visions of moving forward with everything that we keep talking about, you know, water meters and things, you know, how to gain additional revenues, how to get the billing system taken care of. These are all no surprise to anybody. So we're going to be bringing to you guys on these work sessions. You know, Rebecca has them, you know, scheduled, you know, the odds, I guess, from our council meetings. Mm-hmm. So I will have something to present to you guys, I'm hoping each time. So just to kind of let you guys know that we're looking into that very closely. But I think that's all my updates.
That's it?
Well, I got to do my financial reports.
Oh, God.
Does anybody have any questions about what we talked about? Okay, so during those work sessions, again, those are open to the public, and I'll hopefully have something for
Courtney, I'd like to bring this up, though. I'm really glad of what Tom and Tammy did, volunteering, me volunteering in this time, and our mayor was even out there in traffic. It shows we're really working for this village.
Yes, and I was going to do that at roundtable, so thank you. Yeah, we've had a lot of council members stepping up to, you know, offer their help. Mr. Timmons been mowing the lawn for us. And Tammy and Tom have volunteered to water the flowers that we still continue to have throughout town. So we thank that for everybody and the mayor. Okay, so moving forward, your payment listings. I'm going to try and make this a short little meeting. Okay, so payment listings. Again, you guys are going to see a lot of, you know, the list is longer than usual just because we haven't met, you know, our last meeting. So kind of give you a little highlight of what is kind of different, what's kind of the same. Let's see. You're going to see a lot of like process solutions. You're going to see environmental management development. Those, like I told you guys before, those are our new chemical companies that, you know, we've switched to. So we're not just going through one of them. You're going to see a lot of kind of different names on here, you know, to get that cheaper price. We have our typical Massai, our testing, you know, for our water and our sewer. Of course, we have our general utilities, our electric and our gas. And then we also had a problem with our computer system up here where it wasn't printing anything. So you'll see that the Sheehy system shows there that we had to get that fixed because it was, phones were all messed up and printers were not attached and was not printing. And that was right before our water billing. Okay, is there any questions on those? And these payments were approved for the 15th of May or the 14th of May and also before our work session on June the 5th. Okay, so our receipt listings. Again, the list is fairly long. Usually you guys are used to one page. You'll see that sewer and water, of course, is our usual. The Huntington National Bank one, that's going to be the transfer. It was the last of our, when back in January, we were able to order with the water plant supplies. So additional supplies that, you know, at the operator may have needed at the time. We finally got the payment in here. So this is going to be a transfer in and out. So you're going to see Huntington National Bank. You've seen that one. And then you also seen it on your payment listing for the same amount, for $3,437.75. So that was paid out to U.S. Blue Book. Those were for the supplies and materials that they ordered additionally. You'll also see CKB Sterling One Stop. That was a donation for Mr. Dill for his Park and Rec. You guys will notice that. For his football camp. We thank them for that donation. And then, of course, your Time Warner, that's our cable franchise, our third quarter. Any questions on those? Okay. The cash summary. I'm pretty excited to announce, but our last meeting that we held back in May the 14th, we were at, I believe, 300 and something thousand. So as you can see, that the general fund here is 257. That's great. We're starting to, you know, see those increases.
Right.
So as we work harder for the water department, we're going to start seeing changes reflect here. But again, our loans will be coming up in July, so I will have those out to finance this week to sign off on those approvals. Okay, any questions?
I think, Courtney, it looks like we're holding our own anyway.
Yep.
That's the key
Yep.
thing.
Yep. Okay, and then the appropriation status. As we all look at the general fund, I guess is what I always look to first. You will see that our expenses are at 89%. You guys will see also in here, and as well as, you know, I kind of keep you guys all informed at the same time when I deliver your packets. These corrections are going to be made by the auditor and I tomorrow before our commission meeting. There were a few items on here, you know, that we keep talking about, the transfer that we did from the capital improvement, you know, the deficit that we have in the general fund. You'll see that the percentages are kind of, you're looking at, wow.
Yeah.
These are all going to be taken care of and transferred in and out. I know I can't do it because of the amount of money. It's such a large amount of money that I don't have access to do that. So come next council meeting, I also hope to have it during our work session so that I can give you guys a broader picture, and also during the commission meeting tomorrow. These numbers will definitely change. So these, this report, unfortunately, I'm reporting to you what we have. Okay, so general fund, that explains that. The next one I look at and kind of want to pay note because, again, our loans are coming up in the next couple weeks. We have the water fund, which is great at 13%, which is way under budget. I think I hold that to, you know, of course, you know, changing vendors for the chemicals, having Ohio Rule in here to establish and verify, you know, downtimes. I think that's really great to say, you know, or to see that at 13%. Sewer as well is another one that I look at. That 17%, same thing. We've got loans taken out for this one, so you guys will see an increase in that percentage come next council meeting. but I think we're looking very good. Tomorrow we'll have different numbers for you. Okay, anything else on that? And then next, your RETA reports. And I forgot mine. Can I have yours? Okay, so let's see. I went ahead and stuck May 14th back in there just to kind of give you guys a refresher. So that was at 10,000. The one from June 1st was the 71,565. I'm happy to announce that I've been working with my contact at RETA, and we are starting to submit any renter, any homeowner, any person that has lived within the community, contractors that have worked here, that maybe have never reported to town hall saying that they're doing jobs here, that they will be getting a letter. And this is part of this delinquent program is what they call it. So residents are going to start receiving letters on people that have not paid or people that have lived here and never paid before. So if you guys start to hear some of your neighbors, talking about that, that's what those letters are for. So we're starting to make sure that people are paying for what they need to pay for and no more than that. Just like with the water, you pay for what you use. And that's all we're trying to do is to collect it. These also go out to residents as well as business owners, as well as businesses. So even higher up, not just, because, some people, there's a business, but they actually go to a headquarters. So just be conscious of that a lot of people are going to start getting those letters. And of course, I will be responding to them and working with people to get those taken care of. Okay, so is there any questions on those financial reports? Okay, lastly, I have the May bank reconciliation, if I could pass this around to you guys. The only thing that I'm starting to see and that Misty and I have talked about is return checks. So we have one that has been returned back in March, okay, for a water payment. And was returned back to insufficient fund. So we are still trying to work with residents and setting up payments for these. But this one we can't get a hold of. So we're, again, we've got another one in it, and I don't want to say that it's a problem, a continuous problem, but we're starting to receive some of those back. So you guys will see that there's an amount here for $269.01. Those ones, of course, I don't get those returns until the next month, so that's why you start seeing these being carried over. So we're working diligently to get with the residents to help set up some payments with them. Okay? But that's it for me. And it's really hot in here. Is anybody else hot?
Yes.
But I think that's it for me.
She just said that. Did you pass that?
I sure did.
Pass that around? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it?
That's it for me.
All right. Now I need a motion to approve the appropriation status report in front of you. I need a motion to do that.
You have that motion, sir.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Hello?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the payment listing report. You have in front of you.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, ma'am. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Hello?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the receipt listing report in front of you.
You have that motion, sir.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Hello?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the cash summary by funds report in front of you. A motion?
That motion.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Hello?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to approve the Rita report.
You had that motion, sir?
Thank you. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote.
Lowell,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Thank you. Now I need a motion to approve the May 2018 bank reconciliation report.
I'll make the motion,
Thank
sir.
you. Second.
I'll second.
Lowell,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
and Becky.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I was going to say, does anybody out there ever wonder about these reports? We do every 2 weeks. A lot of numbers and a lot of categories. I don't know half of them, but they do. She does and they do. So that's what this is all about. That's why we come here every 2 weeks. Make sure all these numbers are right.
A lot of meetings.
That's the bottom line. She mentioned, before we go into committee reports, honey, she mentioned the engineering firm. As you all know, we had an engineering firm, IBI, out of London. We don't have them anymore. We fired them. So we advertised for an engineering firm. We have to have an engineering firm for a lot of reasons. They'll do a study on the water. They'll do a study on our water meters. They'll oversee any streets that are being built, homes, streets and curbs. They'll do an evaluation of, from us. They'll take our ideas, like the Cliffview area. The engineering representatives that she and I talked to up till now, water meters are our #1 priority. We'd like to get into a better system of doing it, and that's going to be years away. Cliffview residential area is #2 on the priority list. We need this engineering firm to evaluate all that stuff, to tell us what kind of grants are out there that they're going to file for. If we can afford them, since we're broke. Do we want a grant? Do we want to sell bonds? All these sort of things is what we talk about with these engineering people. And that's what she alluded to as ADR came down with a gentleman that's from Mount Sterling who's done very well. He wants to come back and help us. And he asked me if I would meet with him, and we did. And that's what that's all about. We're working every day. Every day. You never hear about what we do, but we work every day. She does, and she does, about how can we improve this community without any money. And that's why we have to have an engineering firm.
But that's why we want to do it legally as well.
Yes.
So in the past, it's always been, it's just because we've always used them. We want to make sure that we're giving out the correct bid, that we're accepting applicants, as far as engineering firms that, are qualified to do it. Anybody could say they could do something, but, what's their credentials? What's on their resume? So we're wanting this to be very broad. It's not that we're biased to any person or any company, but we want to make sure that this is legal, that we're doing it the way we're supposed to be doing it, ethically.
And it benefits the community, not a small group or a person, the whole community. We're very well aware of exactly what Courtney said. We're not biased or partisan. We just want the best deal for our community. That's what we're asking for. And that's why we advertised. Now, thank you. Rebecca Burns, Finance.
Okay, well, as Courtney was saying, I'm really glad to hear it. The RETA, the delinquency. Of course, we get a lot of money into our general fund from RETA. So anything that we can do that's going to increase what we get, the distribution from RETA, is a good thing. The general fund, we know is negative right now because of having to take care of the capital improvements, movement of money and things, but that all is we're slowly creeping back toward being zero again. So anything we can do to increase revenue in that general fund, I'm really, really glad to hear, because that was something that we hadn't addressed, was how to increase the RETA for the people who have not been paying into it. Other than that, with the financial part of it, we do have, I think Courtney mentioned it, but it's a committee meeting. This is the commission that was put together when we were placed in fiscal emergency. It's with the auditors. It's 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and this meeting is open to the public. It's a formal meeting that, while we're in fiscal emergency, we will have this commission, and it meets periodically. So anybody who has questions or wishes to kind of stay in touch with how the state is viewing and where we stand, I encourage you to attend this meeting. Of course, the Finance Committee goes in and looks carefully at any POs. We continue to do that. Courtney, nothing does get approved unless there is at least 2 signatures. We are closely following all the things that we had in place. And anything that we're not, if there's questions, then obviously we find out the answers before we approve anything. And so I feel very comfortable that everything is being scrutinized very carefully. The other thing that we're waiting on is the release of the 2013 and the 2014 through 2015 financial audits. This is different than the special audit that was done, but I'm not sure at what point it will get released. Perry & Associates will be releasing it to the state auditors, who then will review it and release it at some point. And the only reason I mention that is there could be adjustments. It just would be monies between funds, not decreasing any fund without an offsetting into another fund. So I'm just kind of trying to monitor that and see when we might see that. So that's about all I have right now.
Thank you very much. Pleasant Township, Becky.
Yeah, nothing to report.
Very good. We're moving right along. Squad, Mr. Anderson.
The squad meets Wednesday. Haven't met yet.
And this is Monday, so you have nothing to report.
No, because they haven't met.
Very good. We're really moving. Fire. Tom Ward.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Okay. We had a meeting on the 31st, and of course they called me to order paid bills and approve the minutes. The chief on old business, he never had to go to court for the subpoena, which he was tickled to death about on that part. They did receive the BWC safety grant, and they also, the fire marshal equipment grant was also awarded. And on new business, the ladies auxiliary was, everybody knows it was formed here in Mount Sterling, okay? And the chief has decided to no longer participate in it because of the lack of participation, just not enough.
Okay.
And they also discussed the pay scales for the firemen. They want to be competitive with the surrounding areas.
All right.
And they discussed that. And then next meeting will be on June the 28th, 8 p.m.
June 28th. Thank you very much. Water and wastewater, Rebecca.
Well, I'm going to combine that with the streets, because what we're doing is every other Monday, opposite when we have our council meetings, we're doing a work session, and we're combining those because obviously they are different, but because we are talking about interviewing with different engineering firms to look at different projects that maybe might be done. So the last meeting that we met, we heard about what the village was going to do in order to try to attract information from different engineering firms, so that we can look at grants that won't cost the village anything. We have to be very creative and look at ways to get a lot of projects done without the cost or big cost to the village. So we kind of opened up the door to that discussion. We have a lot more to discuss this coming Monday. The meetings are at 3:30. And once again, they're a work session. I encourage the public's welcome to attend. If there's anything or questions that you have, you can bring them to that meeting. That's it.
Very good. Parks and Rec, Rebecca.
Okay. We haven't had a meeting just within the last few weeks or so, but I did want to announce that for the football camp, which is going to be Saturday, June 30th, there is still openings in the older age group. I think it's the 13 through 17-year-olds. Is that right? But we've been having great sign-up. So this is going to be an incredible event. The other part that I'm so excited for is I believe that the Buckeye, all the people that volunteer for this great camp are going to be in the parade that we're going to be having that afternoon as part of the Community Days Festival. So I encourage people to line the streets and show your encouragement for not only the local people in it, but for the James Cotton Football Camp. We are still working to finalize the details for the first Family Feud event as well as the movie night. But as soon as we have dates, you'll see it on Facebook, on our website, things like that. And then I just wanted to give a special thank you to Jack for all of the work he's been doing on Mason Park. Every time I go by there, it's looking better and better, and your hard work is really appreciated. Thank you.
Parks and Rec. Do you want to say anything about Parks and Rec?
I'm good.
I've had some very good comments about Mason Park and Rec.
That's good. I hope they're all from kids.
Actually, they was from adults. A lady that lives here in town didn't know there was a walking trail a path out there. She said she heard about it, talking about it a couple years ago, but they never did say they built it. I said, well, it's there. It flew in from somewhere. It's there. Trust me.
It gets used quite a bit.
When's the big Family Feud going to start?
We're still waiting on one item, and then we're ready.
Okay.
Family Feud.
And the movie night, I just wanted to confirm that it's not going to be this coming.
June 16th.
It's not going to be June 16th.
We're not ready yet. We don't have the movie picked and the license purchased yet. As soon as we do that, then we're ready.
Record of retention.
No report.
Very good. Here we go. Oh dear, nuisance. Speaking of nuisance.
Oh dear, our last meeting was May 30th at 3:30, and we discussed all the places that have been tagged, including grass, weeds, porches, parking, like Jack had spoke about, chickens. We're working hard. We had a stack of tags this thick. A lot of people have complied with this. A lot of people haven't. The next meeting was supposed to be on June 27th. We have rescheduled that for June 21st. We want to have a meeting before our next council meeting to talk over maybe some recommendations for council and some ongoing issues with some residents. Some issues with. Other than that, I think, Jack, do you have anything else? But that parking thing is really, that's a big stack of the tags.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about, you said we have a lot of residents that have been tagged, stacks of them, and some have complied and some haven't. For those that haven't and that have been ticketed, like, where are those fines going? What fund are those funds?
Those go through, Jack can answer better, they go through the municipal court.
Yeah.
So do we have...
Once they have not complied, and we've done everything, we've exhausted all things that we can do to try to get them to comply, I will file a criminal charge on them through municipal court.
And how many has had to happen with that yet?
None yet, but I just got a list today that there's probably going to be a few out of that.
Okay.
But then that's why Tammy's going to hold the meeting so that we can pass legislation to allow me to add a line item.
Right.
So
Right
that our
now.
money can go to
Yeah.
the right fund.
The general
So
fund.
that money can come
Yes.
here?
And I do have to say,
Okay.
It's a portion of it.
Okay.
Right.
I do have to say, some of the residents haven't went all out, but we see they're working on it. So we give them a couple more days to finish.
I forgot, how much time typically, if a resident gets tagged, how much time do they have?
Usually 10 days.
10
The
days?
ordinance is 10 days. However, if they contact us, we're going to work with them.
Right.
Because just making an effort to contact us is showing that, they're concerned about it.
Right.
If they do not contact us,
Again.
don't touch it, that to me is like they don't care. So I'll knock on their door.
I think he's got a
"What are you
bladder
doing? What?
infection.
You got tagged 10 days ago. What's up?" "Oh, well, I was going to do it." "No, you wasn't, because I had to come see you.
I'm on like
You
this.
contact me."
Right.
So as long as they're showing effort, we give them that benefit of the
Then I'll
doubt.
give them a couple more days. "Hey, show me an effort, and I won't cite you." So if they show an effort, then, because people in this village aren't the richest people.
Right.
And I hate to give people a fine, but yet again, I don't have a problem giving them.
Right. As long as they have an opportunity to correct
Right.
it, that's fair.
Right. And just more than, just in case the citation or the warning blows off their door, why didn't you get it? Well, yeah, you got it 10 days ago, so here's your opportunity.
And the last thing I'd like to do is thank Jack and Deputy Higaki.
Mm-hmm.
They really, both of them, really get out there and help us,
They have.
and they stay on it, so I appreciate their help.
I appreciate your help, because we sat here several months ago, we told you we're going to have a nuisance and abatement, and it wasn't going away, it was going to be fair and firm. And we're still here today. She was here all day today, working, being fair and firm. So we need for those people to step up. It's for something that's been neglected for years. And
just so people know, I mean, we have went as far as getting the place condemned.
Right.
So that was through the health department.
right.
So, we're giving you every opportunity, but we're not going to allow it.
Right. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Block Watch, Mr. Ward.
We had a block watch meeting, it was the third Thursday, wherever the date was, I forget, May 17th, I'm sorry. And block watch captains have been assigned to zones within the village. The village has been divided into, 6 zones. And each captain has X amount of people in each zone. So we're pushing forward on that real hard and trying to get more volunteers, okay? Phone trees has been set up, and that is for the protection of the people, the block watch people, and the sheriff. If something goes down, they can get on that tree, start making calls, the sheriff's there. We're doing everything. We're working as one instead of a group of wild people. It's going to be one well-oiled group. We had, as everybody knows, there was issues here in the village with cars being around the village, with cars being broken into and stuff like that. And Block Watch was out there before the phone even started ringing. And we've been out there knocking door to door to door, and we're still out there knocking on the doors, because this is a lot of village to cover when you're walking. And we're trying to get more people to sign up, okay? And we're still doing it. And the more that we can get, the better it's going to be, the safer we can keep this village. It's up to us whether or not this is going to be successful. And when I say us, I'm talking about the whole village. So far they've done a good job, and everybody's been stepping up. And even if you cannot make the meetings for the Block Watch, join it. We will get with you. We will explain things, and we will as many as we can humanly get. The more, the better. And then we can get into the outlying areas, make it even safer outside the village as well. Jack Dill has been absolutely wonderful. I know the ladies here has been absolutely wonderful, printing out our brochures and everything and helping us get everything we need. And I want to thank all of them, and I want to thank all the residents for what they've been doing. They've been doing an outstanding job. And Jack Dill, especially yourself, buddy, you've given up a whole lot of your personal time to do things, and not just the Block Watch, but for the whole village in itself. And I thank you for that. And with that, I'll say happy late birthday to you, buddy. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, sir. Festival, Mr. T.
Yeah, Jack, I got to tell this. Chris kind of stole a little bit of my thunder, but the Marionette show is very professional. They're going to have it the community days. If you've never seen string marionettes, these people have actually been on, performed around the world, and it's very professional. Also, I got to spread my own wings here a little bit. John and I, in our rock and roll trivia show, will be at the festival. John notified me, we got Novelty Act of the Year in the Southeast Conference this year, which he's got the trophy at his place, and I thought it should be of me, but the point of it is that I'm really glad of what we've come a long way in our festival, and also there are plans out for the parade, and also there's we're going to have several superheroes appear, and our next meeting, which to finalize everything, will be June 14th at 6 o'clock. And this is the poster we're going around for the Timmons Brother Rock and Roll Show.
All right.
And like I said, we've come a long way from but I just had to tell about it.
No, that's good. It's all good. So that does it for the committees. Round table. Anybody want to spout off? Vent? Question
I have
me?
one thing. It's none of the above, just more of informational.
All right, that works.
Next Tuesday, June 19th, we are having something called GOBA, the Great Ohio Bicycle Adventure, coming through town. And what that means, they'll be leaving the Madison County Fairgrounds, where they're staying the night before. There'll be up to 1,500 bicycles coming through the village, starting at daybreak that next morning. We're considered their lunch stop. The Nazarene Church has generously stepped up and offered to prepare all kinds of different food items and offer drinks for sale for all the riders. And I still can't comprehend like 300 at a time. That's a lot to serve. But we're also told that they will be venturing out into the village also, checking out the other restaurants and things like that. So it's a great opportunity for a lot of people who maybe have never been to Mount Sterling to come and really see it. So I think all the restaurants and things know about this, but also just from a cautionary standpoint, if you're out on the roads and stuff, you'll definitely see a whole lot more bicycles than I think we've ever seen in the village before. They say the last of the riders will be out about 1:30 or so in the afternoon. They're going to Circleville and staying that night. But it's a large group that comes out of Delaware and does a big loop around. It's a predetermined loop, and that we happen to be, they're coming through here this year. So we just hope to make it a great time for those riders. And that's it.
Thank you.
May I ask, what was the date on that again, please?
It's a week from tomorrow, June 19th.
A week from tomorrow. It's on a Tuesday.
Yes.
I want to bring up too, the Nazarene Church could use, anybody that wants to volunteer to come to the church that day, we'll find a place to use you, because there's going to be a lot of people come through.
A whole lot of people.
Volunteers, yes. And definitely.
Speaking of volunteers, are you going to, who's going to direct traffic?
For them?
Yeah, this guy was painting, he painted the street to where these bikes are going. Of course, I didn't know who he was. I said, what are you doing putting paint on my street? He said, you're going to have 1,500 people coming through here in a 6-hour period. Are we going to be okay with traffic-wise?
Yeah, people just need to understand, when they're on the streets, they're just like a car. You just got to be cautious and drive slow.
I flagged traffic 2 days in a row. People are not understanding. Trust me. When they get behind the wheel, some of them are not very understanding.
No.
When you blow a stop sign,
Why did you look at me about that?
well, you was holding it, and the lady drove right by you.
And I know, and I was doing one of these numbers.
It's
But
terrible. But you don't think we're going to have no, it wasn't comical. No, it wasn't to get yelled at.
People were in a hurry to get nowhere.
I guess. So we're going to be okay next Tuesday, okay? Anybody else?
I want to bring up too about Mayor Eves of London. He passed away here, and he was an icon in the London area. He was a hard council worker in London. I got to meet him once, and he was very dedicated, and just want to say he was very loyal to his city and stuff. I want to say that. And also, this past June 6th, I was a speaker for a D-Day rally, and they had one gentleman there who was actually on the jump. He was 96 years old, and he still had his memory, and he told about the jump. And we can't do enough for what's left of these men, what they did that June 6th day, and I just want to recognize that too.
Very good. Anyone else?
Yeah, something, appropriate, goes with that. The community center is organizing the brick sale for the armed services for over here at Memorial Square, or whatever we're calling it.
Yeah.
And that's in full swing, and those, I believe they're requesting those to be getting turned in July. So if you would like to recognize yourself or a loved one who's served in any of the armed forces, you know, currently or in the past, this would be a great time to support them, and through also supporting the community and our, you know, our square over here. And also I wanted to mention that I believe the community center right now has started their summer lunch program for children. So any children are able to go over there Monday through Friday and have a free lunch. So I believe during the summer there's a few restricted dates, probably right at holidays and things, but you know, kids, a lot of parents are out working and things, and it's a great place to go and have that opportunity to have, you know, a good meal. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you. Talking about the monument across the street, we all put up. You all are aware that all the mulch is going to be taken off. They're going to landscape that, and there'll be recognition blocks in that whole open area around that monument. That's what she's referring to. If you have a family member, anyone, father and an uncle, simply go to the community center, fill out a form.
We have some here too.
Oh, we? Very good. And they come in different sizes. Of course, the normal size brick is kind of limited on, you know, a name and the service you put in. But that's what that's all about. When they get, I don't know how many bricks they were talking about, but when they get a certain a number of bricks, then they're going to send the order in and have that landscaped over there. And we have had we're trying to get a flag pole put up beside of it. I'm going out and beg the American Legion, because we actually bought solar lights, and I don't know if somebody broke them or not, but I pulled them up, and I'm going to get 2 new solar lights to put on that monument. So that's what the monument thing was about at Monument Park and the bricks. Anybody else?
I have one last thing, sorry.
Okay, no.
Our farmers market, you know, we just started trying to get it off the ground this year, and our very first week was super successful. We had the whole town lawn full, plus the gazebo area full. But that was our big kickoff week, and now I just want to remind everyone that it's always the first and third Saturday from 9 to 1. We're filling in the gazebo area first, and overflow will be over here and up the streets if we have to, but it's not just farmers. I mean, obviously produce and baked goods and just crafts, whatever. It's just really an opportunity for community members to have a place to go and, you know, do a little bit of shopping and support each other. So that will be coming up this Saturday, because that is the third Saturday of the month. So,
very good.
Yeah, 6/16.
I got to double check.
Yeah.
Okay, it is next Saturday. Anybody else? Okay, your turn.
Come on up, Gene.
My daughter has a pot-belly pig, and it's not an outside pig.
Family pet?
Yes.
Okay.
And his name's Wilbur. And he goes outside just like the dog. And
Yeah.
comes back in. He doesn't like outside. But what she's trying to do is buy a home around in this area.
Mhm.
And before she will, she's got to make sure she can have her pet.
That guy sitting right beside of you,
I have pictures of him if he wants to see.
he'll tell you.
I don't have a problem with potbelly pig. Now, there is an ordinance, as a farm animal. Does a potbelly pig fall under a farm animal?
I would say yes. It's a pig.
I don't think so.
It's a pig.
I don't know if,
Would it be
I don't know if potbelly, I don't know.
Decisions don't be counted.
The way I
Right.
look at it is, there's a very big distinction, and potbelly pigs as well as miniature pigs make great house pets, and people have them instead of dogs or cats. They are wonderful companions, and indoors, like what you said, and, you know, people that I've known through rescue groups and things like that talk about what just a great pet they make, and that's what you're talking about. Just like if it were a dog or something inside most of the time, and you know, it's very different than having, say, outdoor pigs or something. So I look at it that it's a pet, kind of a domesticated pet, but not a cat or a dog. But you know, that's my feeling, is that that's very different than, say, a farm animal, is my feeling.
I got a
Very
question
good.
to ask you. Are they hard to housebreak, a pig? I'm just curious. Okay.
I've heard they're very smart.
No.
How large is said pig?
Wait a minute.
How large is the pig? 250 pounds?
I have pictures of him in the house and outside.
If I'm not mistaken, that breed of pig a long time ago was bred in Asia for a house pet.
Thailand.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
In Thailand,
That's true.
yeah.
Versus a regular pig or a hog. I'm pretty sure that's where they originated a long time ago.
I myself don't have a problem with,
Okay, we'll talk about it later. I promise you, and you'll get a hold of her.
Yeah, I'll get in contact.
She'll get a hold of you.
Appreciate it, thank you.
No problem, not a
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you for coming. Next. All right.
Name is Jim Young. I'm property manager for Catawba Apartments.
Uh-huh.
Couple things. One will make you happy. I got video surveillance in there now. Well, secondly is a water bill issue. I've been talking to you all for months.
Yeah?
I'm not getting any response from anybody. I'd kind of like to know why.
Catawba?
What's your issue?
$5,000 water bill.
Okay. We have a lot of issues. I remember seeing Takata come across the desk, but I can't narrow it down much more than that because there's a lot of them come across the desk with issues. So,
I'm very aware of your situation.
Okay.
At the time when you came in originally, so this is kind of new to me that I guess you're still continuing to have a problem with.
Well, I'm getting flack from the company I work for. They're wondering
Sure, yeah.
what you all are doing. And
So has the water clerk advised you? Has she
nobody has
contacted you?
advised me of anything. I have made numerous phone calls. I left a note out here last week about a paragraph and a half long. Never got any response from that. I even threw out an idea and never got a response. I'm like, give us 2 or 3 months,
yeah.
free water and sewer, and we'll call it even.
Give you free water and
By
sewer?
the way, I don't think.
Well, I will personally take care of it for you. Again, this is the first that's been brought to my attention as far as you are still continuing to have a problem. So if I can get with you after the meeting, I certainly will take your information and then I'll personally make sure that it gets taken care of.
Sure.
Okay?
That's
Thank you.
really all I had. I just wanted to get it off my chest because
Not a problem.
they're just beating on me with it. And they're,
Yep.
what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it?
Not a problem.
This is as good a place as any.
This is a perfect starting point.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
What are
coming.
the particulars on this case? We're sitting here not knowing what's going
I don't
on.
know this.
Well, there was an issue with his with Catawba Apartments and how they're set up. And I remember vaguely when this happened, and it's been some months ago, so I can understand his frustration. and maybe not getting a return call or anything like that, which is unexcusable. That
Right.
should not be happening.
You're up.
Secondly, I do know that there was a question that he had on his water bill, because obviously it was higher than what was, what was expected or what's been billed before.
It's now back to normal. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
that's just that one glitch, and I think the meter was read wrong, is what I learned.
Do you have one meter for all the apartments?
Yeah.
So see, that's part of the
That's
issue.
part of the issue right there.
But again, I would like to personally address that for you, so.
Okay.
Definitely we'll get that taken care of, because his is a little bit different situation, because there's apartments, but there's only 1 meter. So that's the issue, and that's the question that we're trying to understand, is why is there only
So
1
this
meter?
happened in February?
How long
Actually,
ago?
this happened almost a year ago, November.
But the billing was like sometime this year.
Yeah, it was,
So it happened in the year 16?
700, 500, and then all, once we get 5,000, then it went back to 700, 500.
Yeah.
It happened in the year 16?
17.
17, but then it was
17?
billed for in 18. But I definitely will get your information and
All right.
come back.
That's fair.
But he's paid,
Apologize.
this is for the entire units,
Yes,
all of the units?
yes,
1 meter for all of them.
Did he pay the entire?
yes. He's always paid. I mean, it's always been paid.
How much
It's
did
paid
he
through
pay?
landlord.
It's
I
like
never
he's
had
saying-
knowledge of the water bill, because they pay it through Indiana.
Mhm.
Everything else
Yeah.
comes through me, and I don't know why that doesn't, but it doesn't.
Okay.
So I think can we resolve it tonight?
We
I
don't
know.
have enough
No,
information
I
on
don't-
it tonight.
Okay,
I'll
I
have to get-
understand.
No one,
No, Misty will have to come in, and we'll go through all of her notes. She's meticulous with notes. She'll refresh our memory, and we'll take care of it. But that goes back to why we need an engineering company. Got an apartment complex, and I think a household is supposed to have a water meter. And the whole community out there's got 1 water meter. That was where the problem started. So anyhow, we'll get it straightened
I will
out.
personally call you back.
Anybody else? All right.
Sidewalks here in town, who's supposed to take care of the sidewalks? Because you can't ride a scooter. There's a couple kids down where I live at, down in Catawba. They go on their scooters, electric, and you can't ride on the sidewalks because you go up and down or roll them. When you come down on Main Street down here, it's like crazy. That's why I ride the highway all the time. Because it shut my scooter off 3 times coming down the sidewalks. You got so much big dips, you got big lips and everything else.
So your question is,
But it's who's supposed to take care of the sidewalks?
who's supposed to repair them or take care of them?
Both. Either way.
Because some like shoveling snow is different than repairing.
The homeowner is responsible for the sidewalks.
What about the business owner?
The business owners, if they're in front of they're responsible.
I'll let you gotta take my scooter down the road
They're
and hit the
responsible.
sidewalks and see how it feels.
There you
It'll
go.
beat you to death. That's why I ride the streets. And sometimes you really can't tell behind. I got some mirrors on it, but either way, some of these roads that go like this, you got your drains, they're about that much a gap between the bottom of the plate and the road.
I-
You get that and it'll block you.
I understand. I've walked down a lot of sidewalks since I come here, and they're in terrible shape.
I have a
But-
question. Do we,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Jack is-
do we have, I say, do we have an ordinance that you must have a
Yes.
sidewalk?
Yes.
Okay, but we need a zoning person to enforce it?
The question is, it's the homeowner's responsibility or business owner's responsibility to make sure the sidewalks are in good repair.
Mm-hmm,
The question has always been in this village,
mm-hmm.
at least for the last 21, 22 years, is whether or not, how do you have the political will to assess a property owners through property taxes? So, yeah, we can go out here and you have the legal ability to cause sidewalks to be torn up and repaired and assess the homeowners or the business owners through their property taxes. But, are you willing to do that? That's up to you guys.
Well, if you do that, you put the money out that we don't have, and you have to wait to get it.
Money-
So I'm not so sure the
Exactly right.
auditors are going to allow us to do that.
Exactly right.
Well,
And
do
that's-
homeowners have to get a permit? to replace an existing sidewalk.
No, because it's
Needs to be
existing.
The thing about it is it has to be exactly the same
right.
size,
Yeah.
the width.
Yeah, I've had people ask me that, Mayor. I think, Courtney, I think you and I discussed that.
It has to be existing.
And,
Exactly the same as far as dimensions. I don't know what the thickness is. I'm assuming it's a 4-inch sidewalk, but it cannot be something less than what's currently there.
Well, the reason why I asked, that way everybody will know, yay or nay, you don't
You
need
can
to
go out and you can replace your sidewalks.
Yes, you can.
If you want to replace them, but they cannot be less than what's there.
All right.
Thank
We
you.
we actually have in our codified ordinance, I believe, the requirements with regards to sidewalks.
There is.
There is.
So,
Okay, very good. Thank you. Anybody else? Nobody? All right,
Got something to say?
we're adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Sorry, Dave.
And let me grab your guys' contact information. I'm just going to shut the recorder thing off.
I was saying, I was telling Dave, sorry, I bumped him with the chair.
Yes.